The National Student Financial Aid Scheme is expecting a flood of new applications after it extended the deadline to the 21st of this month. So far, the scheme has received over 600,000 requests for funding. It's also warned that this will be the final extension and is urging prospective students to make use of this window of opportunity. For more on this, let's bring in NSFAS spokesperson Kagiso Mamabolo, who joins us now via our video link. Kagiso, it's great to see you. Thanks very much indeed for making time. There are multiple issues NSFAS is still dealing with, especially in the lead up to the initial deadline. So help us understand as a start why you extended this closing date.
Thank you very much. After careful consideration of a number of factors, and given the fact that the national senior certificate results will be released on January the 20th, we thought extending the bursary application would be in the interest of students, especially those who are studying without NSFAS, and also those who will be studying in the 2022 academic year. So the closing date is extended until the 21st of January because it doesn't help to wait for matric results and the 2-week period, we don't use it effectively to give others a chance. You'll recall that NSFAS has introduced an same time application outcomes when you are a SASSA beneficiary. It means that you don't have to wait for 30 days or more until you know whether you are funded or not. You get real-time response, and then that makes things easier. So by looking at 600,000, it is largely lower than what we would have expected, and we hope that with this 2 weeks window, we'll be able to push the number at least to 800,000.
Wow, okay. That's unusual because what we've learned in the past is that NSFAS has actually struggled with the number of applications that have come through. Are you saying that in the event that not a lot of people come forward, you might be able to fund this full 600,000? Or are you just basing your concern on past data?
No, we are basing our concern based on a data that we have collected over the years. I mean, last year, we received nearly 1 million of applications. So that tells you that with 600,000, there is maybe a shortage of information across the country. We do attribute this to COVID-19. We couldn't do our outreach as much as we wanted to do. And we do know that movements of people have been restricted throughout the country. So this 2-week period, and given the fact that there's no movement restricted, therefore we are likely to get more applications. But also, we are partnering with NYDA, which have opened their offices nationwide, and also tuition centers where people can actually walk in and apply.
Remind us again, Kagiso, how many people you are able to fund typically in one academic cycle?
I mean, in the last, we have funded close to 700,000, close to 800,000. So we are projecting that that number is likely going to increase. You'll recall that NSFAS numbers have been increasing more than 107% every year. Even our funding has been increasing over and over. So we don't want to limit the applications based on whether we'll have funding or not. I think the important thing is open the application, see who has interest, and therefore see who qualifies. Remember also, the barometer here that we are using as NSFAS is confirmed offers at universities and colleges. Even if you may qualify for NSFAS, if the university or a college has not given you a firm offer, NSFAS will not be able to release those funds. So there is a limit that the institutions of higher education and learning will put to the numbers.
Yeah. Whenever we speak about NSFAS at the beginning of the year, there's also ancient old problems like technical glitches that make it into the discussion. How much of an issue is that this time around, and how much of that particular issue actually informed your decision to move back this closing date?
Well, we have enhanced our online system. Like I said, we have real-time response, which is something that has never happened at NSFAS, which means that over 200,000 students as we speak, they've got their funding result. They know they're NSFAS recipients. And then secondly, we have also enhanced our 2022 appeal process to enable a direct interaction with students during the appeal process. So our capacity that existed before, it was only for the new entrants to appeal. Now, even returning students that are asking for NSFAS can also appeal to us directly. And also, we have ensured that through our online system, our students are able to submit supporting documents that are minimal. I mean, previously, we had proof of income, we had ID copies of parents and so forth. If you are a SASSA beneficiary, you only submit your ID. Any other document is not necessary. We have seen glitches. Students have complained about the browser not able to get into our portal, but this was because everyone rushed on last minute to go on our website. So we are encouraging them to take this 2 weeks opportunity to apply and not wait for last minute rush.
Of course, the objective is to make this process as inclusive as possible, especially because you're dealing with socioeconomic challenges. There are some students, anecdotally, who have also come out to say that the cost of applying online is simply too high because of the cost of data in this country. I'm sure NSFAS is aware of it. The question becomes, of course, how are you dealing with it?
Of course, it is an issue that we are concerned about. Our partners, Vodacom, MTN, Telkom have come on board. They've zero-rated our website, but Cell C refused to do that. So we're still wondering, subscribers that are using that cell phone network, they'll have to use data to access our website. But we appreciate partners that came on board, and we are happy that it's easy to access our website without any data requirement.
Okay, so to be clear, unless you're a Cell C mobile user, you should be able to apply online for free.
Absolutely.
All right, that's a major step forward. Let's talk about the amount of money you have in your pool, though. You know, again, in the past, surprisingly, at the heart of the Fees Must Fall protest, not surprisingly, but most noteworthy is that at the heart of the Fees Must Fall protest a couple of years ago is this issue around NSFAS not having the capacity to cover everyone, including the so-called missing middle. What ground, if any, has been covered in sorting out that issue?
Of course, you would understand that government has never pushed the issue of the demand and the supply of financial resources under the carpet. The minister has come out and said that we don't have enough budget to cover everybody. That's why NSFAS is funding only those who are studying for their first qualification, not their second qualification. But obviously, our new board have reviewed a couple of policies, including access to the funding, including also raising funds. So we will be going out to raise funds as NSFAS in order to ensure that we augment the reserve pools that we have. But also, we're encouraging those who are funded by NSFAS and are still owing us to pay us back. Luckily, in the previous years, we have managed to recover close to 400 million of repayments, which is the money we use to register for our students without them having to pay for registration fees. So we encourage private sector to come on board. We have the database. We have relationship with all the institutions. We know what the needs of students are. And if they partner with us, we will be able to augment existing budget of government.
What's your response to those in the private sector who look back at NSFAS's previous administrative challenges and see those as deterrents from giving the body any money, even though the work you do is very necessary?
We have just come out of a 2-year long of administration. It was quite tough, but we made it. Look where we are now. We have a new CEO, we've got a new board, and we got really unqualified audit. Of course, even though there were findings, but this is a step in the right direction. It means that we have improved on our inefficiencies in the past, and of course, we are ready to even do better. But this should not limit us from partnering with other partners. We are saying, work with us. At least our financials are looking good now, and then we can do much better with your support.
All right. I guess only time will tell. For now, thank you for your time. Appreciate it on the AM report. Kagiso Mamabolo is a spokesperson for the National Student Financial Aid Scheme. The work they do is indisputably important, and hopefully, what Kagiso is saying is more closely aligned with the truth than not.